What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. This is going to be more of a daily vlog type of cycle log. So yeah, click off now if that's not what you're interested in. Just went to Aldi's for some of my groceries. Highly recommend if you're shopping on a budget to look into Aldi's. I just wanted to show you some of the stuff I personally get. Now, I like this Whole Simple frozen meal brand. Normally, I get the chicken, not the Mediterranean chicken is what I normally get. They didn't have that, so I decided to go with the shrimp meals. So basically quinoa, shrimp, and vegetables, and 350 calories. Definitely a bit higher carb with almost 40 grams of carbs, 17 protein. You can get a ton of these shrimp meals for real cheap. And then I'm also going to try the shrimp and grains with asparagus, which is 375 calories, almost 50 grams of carbs. So these are higher carb meals. I'm not going to eat these as frequently, but I am going to have one pre-workout. Sugar snap peas, one of my favorite vegetables and snacks when I'm dieting. Diet green tea, because drinking sparkling water and regular water gets pretty repetitive. So I like to add in diet green tea. And Gatorade finally made a 0-calorie Gatorade. So if you drink a ton of Gatorade, I would definitely switch all of it over to 0 sugar Gatorade. Not 0 calories, 0 sugar. How many calories are in? Oh, there is 0 calories, but yeah, keep that in mind that you should probably switch to that. And then blueberries, antioxidant profile is the best on blueberries, so I'm going to have a little bit of that before my workout. And then these Elevation protein bars are only $6 for 20 grams of protein. Again, not the healthiest, like more of like a candy bar protein bar, but when you compare it to like the actual brands, very cheap. Yeah, that's what I got. So these meals I will spread throughout the day in the upcoming weeks when I can fit the carbs in. And for post-workout, I'm going to be having bison and rice. So I already defrosted this bison. Normally when I leave for the gym, I will put this out to defrost, but it's all good to go. People ask me where I get this bison. It's available in every single Walmart around me. And I've tried the Aldi's bison. This bison by far is better. And yeah, can't recommend this enough. Made a ton of my gains on bison and rice in the past couple of months. Yeah, don't regret it. Great source of protein with a slower assimilation rate than something like whey. Goes first meal today. People ask me what dog food I personally use. I've been liking this Ancestral Raw Infused. This has been great digesting for him compared to other foods. Yeah, highly recommend it. A bit on the expensive side, but it has basically probiotics coated onto the kibble, so it's hard to beat. So along with that, I mix in these beef and vegetable, like jerky pieces. So I put a little bit of that in his food and I mix it around. I'd watch your dog eating these, because if you don't mix it around, he may just pick all the raw pieces out, and that will make his stool really soft and probably alarm you. But if you mix it around, you know, he has to eat it. And then my stupid water filter broke, so this dog is living the life of luxury with bottled water. But we're gonna both eat our meals, and then I'm gonna show you my pre-workout setup. I'll change for the gym. Wanted to go through the pre-workout, post-workout stack with you guys, my ritual I'm currently doing. So post-workout, after the gym, after the sauna, after cardio, Premier Protein. I get these from Costco's. I think you get a big pack of them for $26. And each Premier Protein has 30 grams of protein, a bunch of vitamins and minerals and shit. They were involved with a lawsuit for amino spiking, which if you guys don't know what amino spiking is, It's when you kind of add a bunch of bullshit aminos to make the protein appear a lot higher than it is. They were called out on that, big lawsuit. So now these are heavily regulated, heavily tested. So you know for sure you're getting your 30 grams of protein in each bottle, which thinks it's a good deal. Pick them up at Costco's. That's post-workout. Pre-workout, got a kind of elaborate stack today. So I'm going to drink this on the way to the gym, mixed with 2 scoops of this non-stim pump pre-workout. I picked the one by GAT. I've been trying all the non-stim pumps out, and I'm going to see which one's the best, but I've only tried 2 of them so far, and there's a couple other big ones I want to try, but there's no stimulants in this. And then Gatorade Zero for extra hydration. I feel like I need a stim today, but I don't want anything stim crazy. So I made myself a cup of Pete's Dark Roast. These are my favorite Keurigs. Comment your guys' favorite Keurigs down below, but I'm a big fan of the Pete's Dark Roast. And then, as I dump coffee everywhere, and I mixed it together. I'm going to mix the coffee with this very cheap protein I bought from Aldi's like 2 months ago and haven't used it at all. So I'm trying to get rid of it. So I'm just mixing it with my pre-workout, so it's kind of like a chocolate coffee in a way. But yeah, I don't know how much protein's actually in that protein or the quality of that protein, but it makes my coffee taste a little bit better. I also had my Slim Pills with one of those frozen shrimp meals you guys saw me eat. So this will help nutrient partition, shuttle the carbs into the muscle, try and minimize fat gain, but very good nutrient partitioner. And yeah, people ask me what I think of these. I think it does its job. I think you can test it with a blood sugar tester that it definitely does work. It definitely does help. But is it like using real insulin? No. It's pretty close though, and most people don't need to be messing around with their life with insulin anyways, in my opinion. Really like the Slim product. Take it with all my high carb meals to help minimize fat gain, shuttle muscle into carbs. And then finally, right before I start lifting, since I'm gonna be on camera, I'm trying to get the most nastiest pump for these posing footage, my Instagram pictures, all that bullshit. So I'm going to be supplementing arachidonic acid today. So there's omega-3s, which reduce inflammation in the body, and then there's omega-6s, which increase inflammation in the body. So you remember when you first started going into the gym, how sore you would get, and then as you continue training more frequently, and you know, you got years under your belt of training, you don't really get sore anymore. This brings the soreness back. So the extra inflammation, again, you want to take it right before you work out. I'm going to do 2 capsules today just because I have legs tomorrow and I don't want it stacked up, because if I have too much arachidonic acid in my system stacked up when I do legs, it's really painful to walk for a couple of days. So just 2 caps. This is going to increase inflammation in my muscles, which will cause more breakdown, more local growth factors, and yeah, you'll bring that soreness back. And then during the workout, it gives you a nasty, painful pump. This is probably the closest thing you can get to an enhanced pump as a complete natural. So if you dose this aggressively as a complete natty, never touched anything, you could kind of feel what it's like to have an enhanced pump. But I think everyone can benefit from supplementing arachidonic acid, because like people on steroids blasting grams get extra inflammation and muscle breakdown. And then the same thing goes for natty. So awesome supplement. I think this is one of the best natural supplements enhanced athletes ever come out with. And yeah, you will not respond to this if your arachidonic acid stores are already in check, meaning you don't train frequently enough and you already have a lot of arachidonic acid in your body. You won't notice it. But for my people who train extremely frequently, gym addicts, definitely worth a bottle to try. What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Decided to do my voiceover commentary and questions outside. It's finally almost summer. My cut is gonna pay off. I'm actually not bulking this summer. I bulked the last 2 summers, so it feels good to be in a much leaner state than how I've been in the previous summers. But let's throw out the training footage right now. So this was a chest workout, a bodybuilding hypertrophy style chest workout. So I worked my way up to the 125-pound dumbbells on incline, but I did a ton of working volume before I got to those big sets. Normally I'll just jump straight to, you know, the hundreds and then hit the 125s to get my working volume. This time I decided to start with the 45s, high reps, 50s, high reps, 70s, high reps, 80s, high reps, 90s, high reps, 100s, high reps, 110s, high reps, and then I did my 125 set. So a lot of things have changed. I know I said in the previous episode that I was going to do a raloxifene test, see if raloxifene can heal my gyno. I've shrunken my gyno a lot since then with Nova and some other AIs, but I just received my package. If you guys have followed me on Instagram at Russo Lifts, you would know exactly. I went over everything. So the cycle will be switching next episode, sadly. I did switch some stuff in the cycle for this episode to compare. So like I said in the previous cycle, LGD-3033 is my next SARM on the list. Since I'm getting it from this different brand, I decided to switch off into old Enhanced Athlete 3303. So some EA stuff I had laying around to directly compare it to this new brand to see if it was bunk or fake or underdosed or anything. So I switched that in. I also switched in MK677 again, just low dose, not going anything crazy, for the skin and recovery benefits, mostly the skin benefits. And yeah, that's what I changed. The entire big heavy cutting, when the cutting will get intense with the 3303. I also got some rad to utilize. Hey, Ghost! You guys play nice. Anyways, a bunch of stuff will be changing in the next cycle. Here is some posing footage. So that is kind of what I'm looking like. A lot of people ask me what I think of LGD-3033, and I'm a big fan of it, honestly. I think it's a rare SARM. It's like 4033, but shorter half-life, way shorter, more like a pre-workout androgen, and there's no water retention, which is my favorite thing. If you guys have been following me for years, you know LGD-4033 is no joke when it comes to water. I get the moon face, everything. 3303 is none of that, with all the fullness density pumps that you come to love with 4033. The only drawback being is that it's such a short half-life, so you probably need a baseline androgen under 3303. That way when it kicks out, or you don't have to constantly keep the half-life stable. 4033 over a 24-hour half-life, you know, you can keep it stable very easily. It keeps the blood level stable. So 3303 is more like a pre-workout androgen on like a base of testosterone or something that converts to estrogen to keep normal hormone levels. Come here, Penny. Come here. Come here. You two are ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I think of 3303. Be sure to follow. Here's how I look on it right. And so here's a physique update with the 3303 and 677. So not going crazy with the 677, keeping the dose very minimalistic, just for the skin and recovery benefits, not trying to build permanent muscle right now. But you know, that may change, may not. I think I'm actually going to drop it since I'm going to be doing the LR3 experiment. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The MK677 will be dropped, and then the 3303 is what's making me pop and stuff on my base of test. So that's what the current cycle is, although it's changing tomorrow. So be sure to subscribe to see the changes. I think there's a fucking bug on me. Maybe I shouldn't do this outside. But yeah, moving forward, I'm going to be moving a lot of the more hardcore talking about PEDs over to anabolic TV. So I'm super excited to no longer be PG-13, and I can be as honest as possible. So moving forward, I'm going to have my channel to Anabolic TV and have the end parts of the vlogs. So these parts of the vlogs will be on Anabolic TV, and I'll have more time to put training and diet on YouTube. If you want to see the hardcore content, then you go and scoot over to the Anabolic TV, and I will have videos on there for you guys. So that's what's new with everything. I'm gonna answer a couple questions real quick, and let's go, Q&A. So Randall Grayson made a good comment saying, don't forget to keep your SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, in check with Proviron or Masteron. That was a really good comment. I need to do that ASAP. So definitely might see Proviron later in the cut. If I definitely need to get my SHBG down. Thank you for the reminder, I always forget. So Trout Fit's talking about his experience with IGF LR3, and he said, got super hypo off only a little bit of LR3. I didn't see any growth via hyperplasia until months later when the new cells got bigger. But unlike regular GH, you gotta run it a lot shorter, so it makes it not worth it for me anyways. So that was his experience. Again, I'm not expecting much with LR3. It's just that I've utilized DES in the past, and DES is kind of just like pre-workout fun in my opinion. Like you said, it's not really long enough to really notice anything. MK677, I can agree, over my long-term cycles of it, probably yielded a lot more permanent actual new muscle cells. So I'm hoping with LR3, I'm not going to do it that long, but I'm hoping to see something like that. You reported not, so thank you for sharing your experience with it. Does my lab rat need to worry about gyno with LGD? So, this is a very debated topic in the forums. In my opinion, yes and no. So, people think it's impossible to get gyno from LGD, and if they get gyno from LGD, then their LGD is fake. Not true. So with SARMs, there's something called binding affinity. So imagine binding affinity is like two cars racing to the finish line. You have your natural testosterone, which doesn't really have a high binding affinity, and then you have LGD-4033, which has a super high binding affinity. So when you add the exogenous androgen in, it's going to kick all that natural test, it's going to beat it to the androgen receptor. So you're going to have this influx of free test, which is either going to convert to DHT, which is known to cause male pattern baldness, harder muscles, and mostly hair loss is what it's concerned around. Personally for me, it irritates my skin and gives me this disgusting acne, but it's either skin or hair really. And then there's also estrogen, so DHT or estrogen. So you can also have an influx of estrogen at the beginning of a SARMs only cycle just from the binding affinity difference. So let's say you start off, you're really high natural testosterone, like 800 natural testosterone. Like a lot of that test is not going to be saturated on an androgen receptor because you're replacing it with so much exogenous SARMs, which are faster to the receptor. So you're going to get more conversion to estrogen and DHT until your HPTA axis realizes this, and it will suppress your natural testosterone to match. And you know, it's always chasing homeostasis. That's what it's going to do. That's why you get suppression. That's why you can't really beat suppression. There's people who try and beat suppression. You really can't beat that feedback loop, honestly. But do you have to worry about gyno? I would have, this is what I always say, have an AI always on hand just in case anything happens, because you can combat it instantly, get your levels in check instantly. You're not waiting in the mail or going to your friends, none of that. You don't have to stop anything, and you can get all your levels, you know, normalized very quickly. You know, just have the AI on hand. I'm sure it's not going to be just one cycle. You know, I've heard it from so many people nowadays, and they still message me years later. So why not just have an AI? I'm sure it'll eventually get utilized. So those were some of the questions. I appreciate all the new subscribers. We're almost back at 10,000. Seriously, thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'm going to have to pussify this channel as it gets bigger. but I've come up with the solution of moving all the hardcore content to anabolic TV. So I seriously appreciate everyone who's followed me on Instagram recently and everyone who subscribed to the new channel. I'm cooking, I'm coming. I've just had random crap pop up into my life every time I make a vlog, but I'm gonna keep trying, I'm gonna keep grinding, and I hope you guys do too. I hope you guys enjoy this new cutting cycle. There's gonna be a lot of documentation done on my thoughts. That way, you know, I have more experiences to give my opinion on, just based on my experience and what other people say. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll see you guys in my next one.